Oh, I wish I could go back to PGA West and play a couple rounds and just relax. So here we are again, folks. It's me, Richie, over here at one of my favorite places. And so I am making this video real quickly, and I am actually going to make this video as I go home briefly, with the point of this video being that I am vehemently opposed to this curfew that is apparently started today or at some point here within the last couple days. This curfew that is being imposed on the bar and nightclub proprietors here in town, in my opinion, is a complete overreaction to the unfortunate shooting we had recently. Um, I would like to remind everyone that our business district is starting to revitalize and that things are starting to improve, and that the people that work in this industry don't deserve to be punished, particularly over the holiday season, and have an illegal imposition put on them, in my opinion. I don't recall hearing any declarations of emergencies or any other extraordinary circumstances that would require probably several thousand people to now lose vital income, particularly when it's the last 2 hours of the night that are usually somewhat the most lucrative for people who work on the night shift, particularly if you earn tips during the holiday season. So I'm basically making this video on my way home, and I intend to upload it while I'm there, to say that I think that this reaction by the city is completely unnecessary and, in my opinion, illegal. And I think that if they continue this, we need to get an injunction to stop it, frankly, and I will pursue that avenue. I'd like to also remind everyone that the decline of our business district was caused by the former political leaders and their corruption and their introducing all of these criminal elements into the business district and then letting them run wild and not letting the police department do their job. Now that the police are finally free to be a calming and effective presence, and they have been doing a spectacular job of basically giving undesirable and dangerous people the hint that they're not welcome here anymore. It's been working. Things have been improving. And then the fact that the various clubs are starting to use metal detectors and other improved security measures, it basically just emphasizes my point. Things are on an improving track. And now the city's leaders, in some vain attempt to look like they're actually effective, are basically punishing the people that work in the bars and the restaurants and basically everyone else in the business district who's trying to earn an honest living after midnight, whether they're the food vendors or whoever. So I'm posting this video because I think some kind of action needs to be taken here. As I said, oh my God, it's not the right reaction. The city should have considered allowing the police to do their job instead of, oh my God, it stinks in there. Instead of basically harming the jobs of other people. So here we are. I personally think that this curfew is completely ridiculous. It's an unfair and illegal punishment on the people that work in the nightclub industry, and I think that we need to stand up against it, and we need to allow the police to do their job. I think the only good suggestion they had was to bring some officers back to walk around and do foot patrols. I'd like to remind everyone that when I first started working in the business district, we had a very wonderful local police officer named Marcia Roan that many people will remember, who was she was an amazing lady. She was very capable. She was very kind, and she would be in the business district 3 or 4 days a week. And all of the bar owners knew her quite well, and so did everybody else. And she was basically a mom with a badge and a gun, and she didn't tolerate anything. And if any nonsense jumped off from one of these nightclubs and there was some sort of disturbance in the residential areas, you could be sure Marcia was going to come calling the next day, and there would be heat. So we had one woman who kept the lid on everything in the business district, whether it was overpouring in the clubs or just basically informing the business owners and community about various things that they needed to know about. She would counsel the kids. She would find resources for the people that were struggling on the street. And she was a very effective police officer. And we lost her, unfortunately, because she chose to retire. And then the Long Beach Police Department, in one way or another, didn't replace her. You know, I'm not going to point fingers about that. But the fact that she was an extremely effective uh, presence here in our district is something people should be reminded of, along with the fact that the damage that was done by corrupt political officials, and it's just been continued by the past two. We had DeLong and Foster and his friends who gutted our business district to suck all the college crowd out and fire up their downtown business district, where there's nothing going on there but drug dealing and overpouring and all kinds of other nonsense. Now they don't even want to go there. So we have this college crowd that used to be the catalyst for the whole week cycle of business for the nightlife industry. And they were basically kidnapped by corruption. And then we had criminals brought in, and it's just been a cesspool ever since. Now things are finally starting to turn around. We have an unfortunate incident, but the only reaction we get from our city officials is to basically make the problem worse. So I think that this needs to be stopped, and I think everybody needs to be at least aware of the situation. And we need better leadership. I mean, clearly, we're dealing with people here that don't understand. They probably never worked a day in their life. They don't even have a clue what it's like to have to actually stay up late and deal with drunk people. Well, you know, basically people having a good time. You got to be extremely patient. You know, I mean, I've worked in this industry for probably 30 years. And to know that people I know, my friends, business owners, are now going to pay a financial price because this is the path that the city leaders chose, I just find it terrible. And I just want everybody to know that with all these other burdens I have, I'm going to find a way to oppose this. I'm going to try to find legal remedies and see if we can't get an injunction and have this stopped so that all of these folks can hopefully have a decent holiday season. And our business district can continue to revitalize. We're on the verge of a great holiday season here, and now we've got this almost intentional disruption of it. And I'm on the verge of calling it that. So it's going to be if the city leaders continue this destructive and irresponsible and immature path. So I'm just going to leave it at that because I have to go to work and I'm dealing with yet more nightmares here. But what else is new? So, hey, everybody, happy Monday. And hopefully everybody will have a really good Thanksgiving, which is our next holiday coming up. And frankly, I hope I do. So otherwise, my day's off to a great start. So take care, everybody. Love you.